Hi, Assalamualaikum for Omega and for Beta. So today we will learn about momentum. So here is my second video about momentum. I really hope that this video can help you guys to understand about this topic. So let's start. Okay class, so what is momentum? The basic unit for momentum is P is equal to mv, which is P is momentum, m is mass, and v is velocity. So from this formula, we know that every moving object has momentum because every moving object has mass and velocity. Okay class, let's take a look for the first question. A car of mass 2000 kg moves with a velocity of 30 meter per second. What is the momentum of the car? So we need to find the momentum of the car by using the formula P is equal to mv. So the mass of the car is 2000 kg and the velocity of the car is 30 meter per second. So we just transfer the information into the formula, which is 2000 times with 30, we got 60,000 kg meter per second. Okay, so here is the conservation of momentum. So there are three types of conservation of momentum, which is elastic collision, which is pelanggaran kenyal, inelastic collision, pelanggaran tidak kenyal, and explosion, which is letupan. So the formula for conservation of momentum is total momentum before collision is equal total momentum after collision. Okay class, so you guys already know that we have three types of conservation of momentum, which is the first one is elastic collision, second one is inelastic collision, and the third one is explosion. Let's take a look for the first type of conservation of momentum, which is elastic collision. So what is elastic collision? So let's take a look for this situation. This is car A and this is car B. So car A and car B will collide together, and after the collision, car A and car B will move separately, either in the same direction or maybe in a different direction. But as long as these two cars is not stick together, these two cars are moving separately, so it means that it experienced the elastic collision. Okay class, so here the elastic collision. So before collision, the two objects will collide together, and then after collision, the two objects will move separately. They will not stick together. Okay, so as we know that the formula is total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. So how to calculate total momentum before collision? We need to find the momentum for the first object plus the momentum for the second object before collision. So that's why we got m1u1 plus m2u2 because the formula for momentum is mass times velocity. Same goes to the after collision. So how to calculate total momentum after collision? We need to find the momentum for the first object plus momentum for the second object for after collision. That's why m1v1 plus m2v2. So the final formula for elastic collision is m1u1 plus m2u2 is equal to m1v1 plus m2v2. Next question. A lorry of mass 1000 kg moves at a velocity of 5 meter per second. So we know that the first object in this question is lorry. So we can label the mass of lorry as m1. So m1 is equal to 1000 kg. And the lorry moves at a velocity of 5 meter per second. So since this is before collision, so the 5 meter per second is the initial velocity of the lorry. So we label it as u1 is equal to 5 meter per second. And it collides with a 800 kg car, moves at a velocity 2 meter per second in the same direction. So we know that the car is the second object in this question. So we can label the car, the mass of the car as m2 equal to 800 kg. And the initial velocity of the car is 2 meter per second. Okay, after the collision, the lorry moves at 3.4 meter per second. So it means that the final velocity of the lorry after the collision is 3.4. So we label it as V1 equal to 3.4 meter per second and calculate the velocity of the car. So we need to find the V2. So by using the formula M1U1 plus M2U2 equal to M1V1 plus M2V2, then we just need to transfer the information into the formula. So M1 is 1000 kg times with U1 5 meter per second plus M2 is 800 kg times U2 is 2 meter per second equal to M1 is 1000 kg also and V1 is 3.4 meter per second plus M2 is 800 kg times with V2. Okay, so we need to solve the equation on the left side first. So 1000 times 5 plus 800 times 2, we have 6600 equal to 1000 times 3.4, we have 3400 plus 800 V2. So we transfer the 3400 to the left side. So 6600 minus with 3400, we have 800 V2. So 6600 minus 3400, we have 3200 is equal to 800 V2. So the final answer we have is V2 is equal to 4 meter per second. Let's take a look for the next type of collision, which is inelastic collision. So what is inelastic collision? Inelastic collision is when car A and car B is collide together, and after the collision, car A and car B will stick together and move together in the same direction. Okay class, so here is inelastic collision. Inelastic collision happens when the two objects collide together, and after collision, the two objects will stick together and move together with the same direction and same velocity. So as we know that the formula is M1U1 plus M2U2 is equal to M1V1 plus M2V2, right? But since inelastic collision have the same velocity for after collision, so the formula is M1U1 plus M2U2 is equal to M1 plus M2V, because M1 and M2 shares the same velocity. Okay, let's take a look for the next question. A 5 kg ball is thrown at a velocity 20 km per hour. So we know that the ball is the first object in this question. So we can label the mass of the ball as M1. So M1 is equal to 5 kg and the velocity of the first object, which is ball, is 20 km per hour. So we label U1 is equal to 20 km per hour. And then the ball is thrown towards Lily. It means that Lily is the second object. So Lily mass is 60 kg. So we label the mass of Lily as M2 equal to 60 kg. And the velocity of Lily is U2 equal to 0 km per hour because Lily is at rest. So it means that Lily has no velocity. So Lily catches the ball and slides with the ball across the ice. Find the velocity of Lily and ball together after collision. So it means that the ball is thrown towards Lily and then Lily catches the ball and moves together with the ball. So it means that the Lily is stick together with the ball after the collision. So if the two objects is stick together and move together in the same direction, it means that it is the inelastic collision. So the formula for inelastic collision is M1U1 plus M2U2 equal to M1 plus M2V. Okay, so M1 we have 5 kg times with U1, which is 20 km per hour, plus M2 is 60 kg times with U2, which is 0, equal to M1 5 plus 60 times with V. So we solve the equation of the left side first. So 5 times 20 plus 60 times 0, we have 100 equal to 65 V. Okay, so the final answer we have is V equal to 1000 divided by 65, and we have 1.54 kilometer per hour. Okay class, lastly is explosion. So what is explosion? Explosion happens when at first the two objects will stick together at rest. So it means that both objects has no velocity, okay? So after the explosion, the two objects will move separately. That is what we call explosion. Okay class, so the last one is explosion. Explosion happens when at first the two objects will stick together at rest. So when the two object is at rest, it means that the initial velocity for both objects is 0. And then after explosion, the two objects will move separately. So as we know that the formula is M1U1 plus M2U2 is equal to M1V1 plus M2V2. So we know that the initial velocity before explosion is 0. So we just insert the U1 and U2 as 0. So M1 0 plus M2 0 is equal to M1V1 plus M2V2. So here is 0, since any numbers times with 0, we got 0, equal to M1V1 plus M2V2. So we just transfer M1V1 here. So we got the final formula for explosion is M1V1 is equal to negative M2V2. Okay class, let's take a look for the last question. A man fires by using a gun which has a mass of 1.5 kg. So it means that the gun is the first object, okay? So we can label the mass of the gun as M1. M1 is equal to 1.5 kg. So the mass of the bullet is 10 grams. So we label it as M2 is equal to 10 grams. But we need to convert it into kg. So 10 grams divided by 1000, we have 0.01 kg. Okay, so at first, we have the gun and the bullet together, stick together, and they are staying at rest. So the initial velocity for both objects is 0. And then after shooting, the velocity of the bullet is 300 meters per second. So we label it as V2 equal to 300 meters per second. And we need to find the velocity of the gun. Okay, so we use the formula of explosion. M1V1 is equal to negative M2V2. So M1 is 1.5 times with V1 equal to negative 0.01 times with 300. Okay, so V1 is equal to negative 3 divided by 1.5, and then we have negative 2 meters per second as the final answer. Okay class, so that's all for today. Bye.